Keir Starmer was elected thanks to the work of a shadowy, secretive group that didn't declare hundreds of thousands of pounds in donations. So Labour Together was set up by someone who's now a former Labour MP, as well as two MPs who have now gone on to be members of the cabinet, Lisa Nandy and Steve Reed. But in 2017, Morgan McSweeney comes in to lead the group. And it's at this point that we can see that very large donations start coming into the group that nobody finds out about for several years. By the time I do my story in February 2021, McSweeney is no longer running Labour Together. He is now Chief of Staff to Keir Starmer. So by this point, it's being run by this guy, Josh Simons. And so he goes to a firm, APCO Worldwide.
And what kind of firm is APCO?
So APCO's based in Washington, D.C. in the US, and it describes itself as a global advisory and advocacy firm. Labour Together paid APCO more than £30,000 to devise a strategy to investigate the sourcing, funding and origins of a Sunday Times article about Labour Together, to establish who and what are behind the coordinated attacks on Labour Together. They would do open source investigation, they do human intelligence investigation.
And I've seen this described as a sort of spying operation. Human intelligence, isn't that spying?
It's not necessarily spying, but it is investigating. I mean, journalists, to a great extent, use that. We use open source intelligence, we use human intelligence investigations, but we're doing that for stories that we believe are in the public interest, not in order to devise a media strategy to defend ourselves from future attacks.
How much of a headache do you think this is for Keir Starmer?
I think it's really tricky for him. The story is going back to fundamental questions about how Keir Starmer became leader of the Labour Party in the first place, that allowed Starmer, with McSweeney's direct support and strategy, to take control of the party and then to substantially change the party.